Satan is trying to lead the world towards the north, but he has to do it secretly. Openly he operates northeast, northwest, and every other direction, including southeast, southwest, except south. He keeps away from south, and he keeps away from the north. But otherwise he operates all directions, but mainly northeast, northwest, and by that he's dragging the world towards the north. But that by itself is not enough. He needs to have some mechanism that will actually lead the people towards the north. On top of that, the Satan cannot fight himself. When he establishes a group that goes northeast and a group that goes northwest, and they fight each other, the Satan cannot have it under his direct guidelines, because then we will find out the Satan even fighting himself, and then he knows that he's going to lose if he fights himself. So he has to kind of do a legal way by which he can have organization fighting each other, even to the death, and it will be under his inspiration and control, but it won't be under him as fighting himself. And for that he actually made the system of secret societies, which then top of that is the Illuminati, and that's very few hundred people, I think. I'm not sure. And I just have to say that when it comes to secret societies, I'm a student, I'm not a teacher. I know very little about the actually history and the details and the gossip about them. I know enough to give this lecture. I know enough to be aware of certain things, but I'm by far not an expert about it. And I don't think you should be either. It's very important to be aware of them, and sometimes in life you have to make decisions to protect yourself against them, but don't be an expert and don't fight them. They're very, very strong, very, very secretive, very, very dangerous and cruel. It's not an issue to fight them, it's kind of an issue how to avoid them or bypass them. Sometimes maybe to outsmart them, but I'm not planning on actually fighting them. And plus they've got the authority, because Satan is giving them the authority, and we cannot destroy the Satan. We can destroy his work, but not the Satan. That's very important. So Illuminati is actually a very secret society, which I believe this is a society which the Satan disclosed the real north. And he needs it because he needs people to pray for him, to make decisions, a specific confession, because otherwise the world will never go towards north. It's going east, north, and west, north, as much as they go, it doesn't actually lead you to the north. There needs to be confession and prayers specific for the things he wants. And I believe there's few people that do it secretly towards him and let him, so that north can be achieved. Then there's a group below it that's a Freemason, which already includes millions of people, but it's got hierarchy, and probably only a few thousand of them at the top are really aware what's going on. And they're actually the famous people. Although it's a secret society, which means that it's not open to the public, people basically know the Freemasons. And I actually have people, sometimes I met people and they told me I'm Freemason. So secret society, yeah, it's kind of probably not as a level as Illuminati, but again, nobody knows officially what's going on in the meetings. But they're very famous people, basically head of countries, head of religions, head of media, head of corporations, even sport and movie stars, and they basically get the, I don't know, orders or information, I don't know how you call it, from the Illuminati, and they spread it towards the specific directions. And they go as morals or traitors into the groups, if it's a political party or as a religions organization or media organization, and or even academia for sure, and they mostly by power of suggestion. They try not to use force they try to use force as little as possible. Most of them are very peaceful people, so just by power of suggestion, by putting information that they want to go and make it to be logical and make sense. That's the main method, and that's how they manipulate the world to all directions. And I'll go more in specific about I'll talk more about the secret societies in the next few segments. And again, I'm not going into the details of the gossip, but you can read more about it on the internet. Just Google and any one of the keywords. But be careful, it can be very dangerous to go deep into it, because there's a lot of also a lot of dark side to that.